Hello everybody and welcome back to another video. So in this video I'm just going to give you guys a quick sort of guide on how to do some simple technical analysis using support and resistance lines, and I'm going to show this with an example of Tesla stock, and also I'm going to go over where I think Tesla stock could go based on mostly technicals in the next few weeks to a month. So let's get into it. Alright, so we're going to draw out a line here. So we're going to use this line first as an example for a past resistance line, okay? Because as you can see, in the past, this was a resistance line. Now, how do we know this? Because what happened was that, imagine you bought Tesla stock here. It went higher. For you, this would be a resistance line, because what happened was that it went to this point, then it went down, it went to this point again, then it went down, it went to this point again, and it went down again, right? So basically a resistance line is a point in the stock that is higher than the current price, or about the same as the current price, let's say, that historically the stock was not able to get past, right? So that's what a resistance line is. But this resistance line, this only used to be a resistance line, right? This now is a support line, because what happened was that when it finally broke out of this line, it went very high very quickly, right? Look at this. Major rise, right? But what happens a lot with resistance and support lines is that old resistance lines become new support lines, and new support lines become and old support lines become new resistance. That's what happens a lot. So what support is a point that is lower than the current stock price, right? Current stock price is like around here. This is quite a bit lower than here, right? That historically the stock couldn't get past. And as you can see, that was the case here, because multiple times it tried to go higher than this point and it couldn't, correct? So some people might say that this line was broken, right? The stock broke through it right here, but it didn't, because for it to be considered a full break, this thing right here called a candle needs to be fully over the line. So if it was something like this, if the candle was completely over the past resistance line, then it would be a full breakthrough, right? But because it was not a full candle over, this is not considered a breakthrough, which means that it's still not going higher than this point. It's still having a tough time going higher. Correct. So now I'm going to say that now that I covered support and resistance, I'm now going to explain my I'm going to draw out a few more support and resistance lines for Tesla, and I'm going to say where I think Tesla could go, and in the next few weeks to a month, and based on a few fundamentals, but a lot of it is going to be based on technical analysis here, support and resistance. So let's get into it. So currently, I think that in case Tesla does fall again, like it did like this week, right? I think the absolute bottom for the stock in the foreseeable future is going to be right here. I believe that is the absolute bottom. I cannot see it going lower than this point right here, around 270. Just because there are so many sort of support and resistance and very strong support and resistance lines between where the stock is right now and lower than this point, right? And also I think that Tesla as a company has gone too far to fall under this point ever again. So I expect Tesla to always be above 274, right? I expect this to be the absolute bottom. I think realistically we're probably not going to go under this point, 331-ish, 329, for a long time, because this has proved to be quite a strong support line, and it was a very strong resistance line in the past, as you could see, since it tried to go higher, but it couldn't multiple times. And here, even when the whole tech market was like going down the drain, Tesla was able to hold this support line. So I see this support line holding for a long time, if not forever. Then now let's go on to resistance, how high I think Tesla could go. Personally, I don't think there's much of a cap on where like Tesla could go in the foreseeable future, but I do believe there are some points that are worth noting, sort of. So I believe that this year, around 400, is going to be a relatively tough point to break. Like earlier today, it actually almost got over. It went to like 399 or something, and then it was not able to, so it went back down. So I think this is going to be a difficult point to break, but I think we should be able to break this point definitely by the end of next week because of Battery Day. Now, another question, what do I think will come out of Battery Day? Personally, I think there'll be a lot of great news coming out of Battery Day. To be honest, I'm not sure if the stock's going to go up after Battery Day. I think probably what's going to happen is that the stock is going to go up into Battery Day, and then it might sort of just not move much on Battery Day. But it is still possible, if Tesla does have some crazy announcement during Battery Day, that the stock will go even higher. So next, what's the next resistance to look at? I would say probably the current strongest resistance, which is right here. This is going to be an extremely tough point to break. Personally, I don't see this being broken until maybe like a day or two before Battery Day. I think it's going to be difficult. It might hit this point several times and bounce lower. You know, you can't really foresee this kind of small stuff. But, so now I'm going to just draw out sort of like what I think could possibly happen. Sort of just like a little sort of sketch of what I think is quite likely for Tesla stock to happen. So I think might be like maybe somewhat up tomorrow, somewhat whatever. So somewhat central, because I can't really predict like one-day moves. It's nearly impossible, right? Then eventually I think tomorrow it's possible that it could hit this point again and go lower. Then it might sort of hover around this point for a while, hit it a couple times, and then maybe next Tuesday or Wednesday might go over this point finally, go up quickly, have a few sort of rocky days, and then right before Battery Day, I think it's going to test this point a couple times, and it will break, I believe, above this point. And then what will happen past here, that's pretty much no man's land. Nobody can really predict it, but in general, I think that, you know, it's possible it could go up after Battery Day, could go down, but in general, long term, let me zoom out a lot here. I think Tesla could go all the way to Pluto, right? So it's just going to keep going up in the long term. So in the long term, I love Tesla. It's probably my favorite stock that I own right now. I mean, makes sense because literally like 60% of my portfolio is in Tesla. Yeah. Are any of you buying Tesla? Do any of you own Tesla? Comment that below. If you want me to do a video covering anything, options, you know, test some sort of news that came out with Tesla, any other stock really, I would be glad to do it. So just comment down below in the comment section of this video to tell me what you want me to do in the future in terms of videos. Thank you guys for watching. Like and subscribe if you enjoyed. See you later. Peace.